Hey folks, Jonathan here. Got Noah tightening up some bolts to this transmission. This is the original Y-block bell housing, and this transmission is out of a Mustang, and it does fit perfect. Bottom bolts line up, the center hole's the same. The only difference is there's no holes up here. Now this one's on almost on a flat, and this one here is just in a real bad spot. But what we'll do is either braze it up, or we'll nickel weld it, machine it, thread it, or we'll weld, an insert to it of some sort. We'll figure it out. It's not a big deal. It's been done many times before. And then we're going to have to change the clutch to whatever size. Probably looks like a 9-inch. I figured it'd be a 10, but it may be a 9. Whatever it is, we'll change it out to the right spline that we need, and then we'll probably make a pilot bushing. And because it needs to be a smaller pilot bushing, and we'll probably just use this pressure plate and use the GM throwout bearing, or the Ford throwout bearing, and it's still, as long as it connects, contacts in the right spot, that's all that matters. But we're going to go ahead and do a mock-up. We're going to get this transmission on here, and then we're going to sit it into the car. And what we've done is we've cut the firewall out, and I thought about turning it over, but the way it's made is going to be a pain in the butt. Plus they welded a bunch on the inside of it. It's going to look crappy, so we're going to build a firewall. But we're going to go ahead and get it in there just for mock-up. See what it looks like. Okay folks, this is why we mock up. We've got the engine transmission sitting in, just trying to get an idea. And we cut out the firewall, of course, which we was going to do anyway. So. But here's what I got. Shifter's back a long ways. These are kicked back a long ways. So what we've decided, we're going to add 10 inches to this frame, but we're going to do it by putting 3x2 tubing on top of this piece. We're going to cut this piece, and then when I'm done putting the longer piece in, like I said, 10 inches longer, we're going to shorten up these legs coming down. And because I don't like to see that frame from underneath the car, and it don't need to be tall like that, and we don't need the space down in, so that's the plan. And but we're going to do that after we pull the body back off, so we're going to get back to doing some body work and trying to get all that finished up. And Noah's cleaning the engine off here a little bit, getting ready to block off the exhaust here so he can pressure wash it. So, alright, okay folks, welding and grinding and just working away at this thing. It's taking a lot longer to get a video together than what I thought it was going to. I completely changed this section up. I had it flared out, I didn't like it, so I changed it. It's getting there. We still got a lot of work to do here on the transition. This is pretty much done. I got a little more welding here and there. The top's pretty much done. We got some more hammering and beating and banging and stuff to do before we do any bondoing. We got to weld this up. Got a hole right, hole right there I found under the bondo, and they didn't have it welded in, so I'll cut a little section out there and weld that in. Down here I'm gonna cut into this and join this one into it and do some fabricating work down there to try to make that transition decent. Anyway, she's starting to look like a Roadster anyway. And as for the door, I got the jamb in. Just got to do the top, of course, and down here where it goes together. And door's going to close just fine. Door gap's going to be good. Well, there's really no door gap. It just overlaps, so it'll be all right. And we're matching up a Ford door. I think this is a 33, 34 Plymouth or Chrysler, like a coupe or a Roadster. Well, I'd say a coupe rear body, I guess. I don't know. That's the best I could come up with. This bead is wide, and then it gets real wide right here, and it goes on up on the Chryslers. So 33, I think. But anyway, whatever it is, it is. But my door don't stay shut. That's why I got a disc in there. But anyway, it's coming together. It's going to look like one car here shortly. A lot of fabrication work with this stuff being, in the condition it was in, and we still got to rebuild the tail pan and We've still got to build a trunk lid. You know, this is coming out really nice. You know, I like the body line on it. And, you know, we got our grip rail in. So I think that's going to turn out really well. We'll figure out what we're going to do on the top edge of it before we're done here. And, you know, I've went a little ways on this, and then I cut it back off because I redone this corner, and I'm debating on whether to use that stuff, or I might just bring it down and stop it right there. I just want to have some kind of a bead around this fender. If I had it to do over, I probably would have made it all in one piece and maybe bead rolled it and then put it on, but you know, that really don't matter. It is what it is, and you know, we're not trying to, you know, this is not going to the Oakland Roadster show. This is just something that we're trying to save some parts that would otherwise absolutely be junked. You know, of course, you know where all this stuff come from. So we're going to keep at it, and I'll keep showing you more. We did get some tires on it. Got these 14-inch Mickey Thompsons on it, and they seem to be in really good shape to be old tires. So we'll just run these. They're 60s. I don't know what size 60s. Okay, they're G60 14s, and I think we actually dated these tires, and they actually dated back to the early 70s. But there's no weather cracking whatsoever on them, so we're going to run them. And I'm still not figuring out why this camera looks foggy through the lens. I hope it's not filming foggy like that, but we'll see. Alright, okay, I think my lens had water in there, or got fogged up, but it dried up now. Maybe you can see better. I had Noah go ahead and remove this, and as you can see, they had a panel over top, and there's what was under it. So that's our first issue. And second issue is, if you look, this is the new panel, and on the back side of it, it's already started rusting bad, and because it was put in there with the other rust, I'm sure. And the way they had this gapped apart, you know, it was holding moisture. So we're taking all that off, and then what's that?
The piece that took off right there behind the foot.
Oh, yeah, there's a piece that come off of it, and it was already rusting out. That's new metal. That's the new stuff that they had put on. So what we're going to do, we're going to clean all this off, and then we're going to cut this all the way down. We'll replace this whole tail panel with a new one. We're not sure how we're going to do it or what we're going to do yet on it, but that's what we're going to do. Okay, here's the other side. You can see the Bondo. Yeah, who would leave that? Unless that's all happened since he done it. Holes up here. Holes up here. So, alright, that's what we're working on. I'm not sure, this trunk, it looks like that it ended right here and went across. And I don't know what, like I said, we don't know what this is off of. So whatever it was, it had a small short trunk lid. Or rumble seat, probably trunk lid, but okay, let's see what we can get figured out on this thing. Okay, it sure don't look like we're getting much done, but working away on it, welding, grinding, hammering, measuring, beating, knocking stuff, jacking stuff, doing a little bit of everything else. Anyway, getting ready to cut this piece out. Took an old Ford Ranger hood and cut out a piece of sheet metal. And we're just going to make a simple back for it. Now I think we have figured out what this is. This is a 36 either Dodge or Chrysler, and it was actually a rumble seat version because it came around right here and just had a short piece on it. And from what I can see in the pictures, if it was a regular coupe, it would have came down here. So I think 36 Dodge or Plymouth coupe is what it was. But, you know, like I said, it don't matter. We're just using what we've got anyway. And a couple other things. Let me see, one other thing. I sold the burnt car, the 31 we was going to do. But the good thing about it is the guy that got it is a friend of mine. He's bought battery cases from me before and put them together. So we'll still be able to do updates on that, and I'll show you. One more thing, also the Cadillac. I've had a lot of people ask about the Cadillac. Okay, the Cadillac I towed for somebody else. I didn't tow that for myself. And he has not started that car yet. And I think that he's got key switch trouble, and I don't think he knows how to hotwire it. So I think I'm going to be over there probably with the camera to do a first start video on that car. And that was the 67 Cadillac that had been sitting for so many years. And so I guess he went to try to start it, and the key switch had started smoking a little bit. So. But anyway, I'm going to get back on this thing and go ahead and see if we can at least get this tail pan done, or not done, but on it before I stop and post this video tonight. Well, I've got to run a bar from here to the other side to brace this thing before I cut this out. And then we're going to get this out of the way and go from there. Alright. Okay folks, so I got the new panel just sitting in there. I haven't put it in yet. I'm not going to put it in tonight. I'm going to wait until tomorrow. And the reason is it's just too plain. I do have a license plate piece I can put in it that'll inset the plate. But I want to do a bead roll or something across the bottom back to make it look a little less, just plain. So I'm going to hold off on that. We've still got to do a transition between here and here. I don't know if I'm going to cut that back more or how I'm going to do it. But we'll figure it out as we go, and just keep welding and grinding. We've got our other piece cut out that goes up here. So we've got to fit it, and then we'll deal with the front section and a lot of stuff. But once this body part's done, the rest of it's going to come along quick, and I don't think it'll take too long. We did get some chrome valve covers in for our engine. We'll get it back out and get it painted, and like I said, if you don't mop this stuff up, then you're going to run into big surprises. So that's what we were doing, and that's the way I prefer to do it. So we're just going to keep at it, and it's going to take some fiberglass. I use the green fiberglass. We're going to start with it, and then we'll go over it with Bondo afterwards. But it's going to basically take a skim coat on the whole thing. But when we're done, everything will be sealed up. There will be no holes from the backside for anything to get through. So it'll last. And we've got a lot more to do. But like I said, when this body's out of the way and we start doing the actual fabricating on getting everything hooked up and stuff, we'll be moving right along. And we've been studying on everything that needs to be done, like steering and brake pedals and stuff. So I'm making plans for having stuff for it. I think we're maybe the next cruise in it's this coming Monday. I'm gonna maybe set my sights on having this thing ready for the one after that, and I don't think it'll be an issue to get it the way I want it between now and then, because it's not going to be a perfect car anyway. But I think everybody will like it when it's done. It won't look so well, not like it did when I bought it, and the front section will be a whole lot nicer with being a Roadster instead of being whatever it was. So alright, I appreciate everybody watching, and like I said, it don't look like we've gotten a lot done, but actually we have. So but once the body work's done, we're moving right along. Alright, bye.